Hey, how's it going, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It doesn't even seem like that long ago that I got my Samsung Galaxy S8. It says it was announced in March of 2017, but it seems like it was only about 4 or 5 months ago that I picked this thing up. And today I received my new Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. So before I get to the tabletop, on my social media, big ball vlogs, and when I'm talking to people about actually waiting for this phone, the question that I get, or the thing that people want me to address or even look into, is whether or not it is worth upgrading from the Galaxy S8 to the Galaxy S9. That's a kind of hard question to answer, because I think it all depends on you. If you have a Galaxy S7 and you're looking to get, you know, the latest greatest phone with new features, yeah, maybe it might be worth upgrading. But when you're looking at these two models, and I'm just kind of regurgitating what I've already, you know, seen online or read online. I'm actually going to go through something in a second here and kind of show you what I'm talking about. People are saying that these two models are so close together that you may not want to spend the extra cash to upgrade to this. Now, these phones, the new Galaxy S series, do have new features, but the question you have to ask yourself is, are you willing to pay the extra cost for those extra features? Let's just take a quick look at the actual specs on, actually I have 3 different phones here. I have the Galaxy S8 compared to the Galaxy S9, which is, you know, an apples to apples. And then the Galaxy S Plus, which I got, which has a couple more features that I thought that I would be willing to pay for, which is going to increase the cost of the phone. But let's take a look at the actual specs. Alright, so this is a tool that I use. This is GSM Arena. If you're into cell phones, if you're into tech and tablets and stuff like that, GSM Arena has one of the best tools for looking up and comparing 2 different cell phones. Over here on the left side of the page, you can actually do a full comparison, or you can just compare the differences. So I'm going to just kind of scroll through what the differences are between the 2 phones, or actually the 3 phones, and show you what the actual differences are. And if you're not really a phone person, or you're not really a hardcore phone user, some of these things may not even matter to you. When we first look at the network, they're all 3 on the same network. I always buy unlocked phones, so mine are usually globally unlocked, so I can take them across the world, across the country, stick a SIM card in them, and they will normally work no matter where I go. So we're going to scroll down a little bit more. We're going to get into platforms. The new phones, the Galaxy S9 series, are going to come preloaded with Android Oreo. Some people upgrade phones just because they want the latest, greatest software. Usually with, I don't know, I've had luck with Samsung, where most of the Samsung phones usually get the latest firmware update. So you can have a Galaxy S7 and it may still be getting the latest, greatest Android software. So yeah, you got different softwares, but it says in this one the Galaxy S8 is going to be upgradable to Android Oreo. So you really don't need to upgrade. If you want Android Oreo, you can get it across all 3 phones. When we look at the actual processors, again, this is something that may or may not affect you. If you're a hardcore phone user, you play a lot of games, maybe a faster processor, more memory will affect you. 99% of the time, for average everyday use, software performance, firmware performance, and processor and memory don't really affect the average everyday user. So if we look at the actual processors, there has been an upgrade from the Galaxy S8 to the Galaxy S9. The Galaxy S8 had a 2.3 gigahertz, an octa-core 2.3 gigahertz mongoose processor, whereas the Galaxy S9 series has a 2.7 gigahertz mongoose processor. So you're going to get a little bit faster performance out of those faster processors. And again, it all boils down to how you use the phone, what you got loaded on it, things that are going to be taking up that processor speed if you got a lot of applications running in the background. So the speed of the phone really depends on how you use the phone. If we scroll down a little bit further, we're looking at memory. Let's see. The Galaxy S8 series, you can put up to a 250 gigabyte flash memory card. I've never put anything bigger than a 64 in mine, and it's been able to have all my music, all my photos, all my videos that I've ever needed to store on it. But you were able to put up to 256 gigs, whereas the Galaxy S9 series, you're able to put a 400 gigabyte flash card in the expandable storage. Plus, you can also use a dual SIM. So we look at the cameras, and this is the big feature for me, why I decided to upgrade to the Galaxy S8, because I'm a camera guy. I love the new cameras on the new phones. Samsung has been holding the crown for a little while as having one of the best cameras in the market. And the only other phone that has made me even look away from Samsung was the iPhone X or 10 or whatever you want to call it. But if we look at the cameras on the Galaxy S8, Galaxy S9 series, one of the features that I wanted to try out and I wanted to see how well it did was the adjustable aperture on the Galaxy 9 series. The Galaxy S series had a 12 megapixel rear shooter with a 1.7 aperture. The Galaxy S9 series has a dual aperture, which allows you a 1.5 f-stop and a maximum 1.5 f-stop with a minimum 2.4 with a dual. It doesn't actually adjust from 1.5 to 2.4. It either has 1.5 or 2.4. And if you're not familiar, again, if you're not a camera user, the aperture is sort of like the hole in the middle of your lens where the light comes in. The smaller number is how big that opening is, which will allow in more light, and other situations will allow you greater depth of field. This is why I decided to upgrade to the Galaxy S9 Plus. It also has the dual lens, which is also going to give me telephoto. It's going to allow me to do better depth of field shots, stuff like that. All that photography stuff, which if you're not interested in camera phones for their camera, it probably doesn't matter to you, and you probably don't want to upgrade to the Galaxy 9 or the Galaxy 9 Plus. So if we scroll down a little bit further here, when it comes to sound, there's a difference between the Galaxy S and the Galaxy 8 and the Galaxy 9, and that is the fact that the Galaxy S only used the bottom firing speaker. With the Galaxy S9 and the Galaxy S9 Plus have stereo speaker. Always wanted a phone that had dual front speakers, because with the bottom firing speakers, you really can't get great sound if you're out in public or you're out in loud situations. What I end up having to do is either use my headphones if I'm trying to show you something on YouTube or show you my latest video, or use the like cup megaphone effect where I cup the end of the phone in my hand here and then kind of point or direct that sound toward you. When it comes to battery life, the Galaxy S8 and the Galaxy S9 both have the 3,000 milliamp hour battery. I opted again for the Galaxy S9 Plus because it has a 3,500 milliamp hour battery, giving me a little bit more time. Oops, scrolled all the way up on there. Give me a little bit more time with my battery. And this is where I say that all of this stuff, all the processor and all the memory and all those special features, I'm about to lose my camera here, gotta get a new battery, don't really matter, because when we look at the benchmarking, and the benchmarking is when you put a software on here that kind of runs the phone at its hardest to see what it can do. The benchmarking is very, very similar. So the benchmark scores on the Galaxy S8 were 3,272, and the benchmark scores on the Galaxy S9 were 3,229. So that's very, very similar. Not much to kind of brag about if you're talking about upgrades, but when it comes to the extra features of the camera and the telephoto and stuff like that, and the dual aperture, if you're into using your camera phone as a camera, you have a little bit more control over it. Alright, so I'm back. My other camera battery died, so we're going to go to the tabletop and we're going to take a look at the actual hardware of the Samsung Galaxy S9. I know I said I don't normally do unboxings, and sorry if this is upside down because I'm kind of shooting down onto this phone. If I have to, I'll turn it around so you can see what's going on here. Slide it out like this first, get that out of there, and then you have your standard Samsung box here, which is a very nice, elegant looking box for a very nice looking phone inside of it. You flip open that flap there, and inside you get your Samsung Galaxy, I guess, informational box, which has your SIM tool in it. It also has all of the documentation for your new Samsung phone. Below that, I'm going to just put that aside for a minute. You have the hardware, you have the Samsung, in this situation your Samsung Galaxy S9, and this is the Galaxy S9 Plus. I usually don't like to even touch. I'm not even going to that, and that's the reason why. I just don't like the feeling of accidentally dropping a brand new phone on the floor. So normally what I do is I put a screen protector on this thing, and I put it in a thin TPU case that allows me to kind of handle it without getting it all fingerprinted up. And that didn't show up today. Actually, for some reason didn't get delivered by UPS. They took it back and said that I agreed to pick it up. So I have to go get that tomorrow. But we can go through it for right now and see what this thing can do. Give me 1 second. Because this thing is super shiny right now, I want to grab myself a little cloth there, little microfiber cloth, so I can wipe off the fingerprints. And for comparison, I'm also going to put my Galaxy S8 here. Also in the box, you get, you've probably already seen this in a couple of other videos, but I'll walk you through it. You get an adaptive fast charger. You get a USB to USB-C connector or adapter so that you can transfer data from your old phone to your new phone. And inside this box you get a USB Type-C charging adapter, and you get a set of AKG headphones. These headphones are actually pretty nice. They cost about $100 retail if I'm not mistaken, so you get a very nice set of headphones with that. And you also get a set of headphone earplugs for your different size ears. Okay, so side by side, comparison wise, if you've already seen these in the past or you already own these, this is the Galaxy S8 and this is the Galaxy 9 Plus, which is probably about the same size as the Galaxy 8 Plus. This one's already ready to go. I've already got it, kind of like, you know, it's my cell phone reviewer saying I'm not the greatest cell phone reviewer, by the way. I do this because I like these phones. Cell phone reviewers like to say that this is their they call it a daily driver, I guess, because they have more than one cell phone that they like to swap out. I do not. So let's get this one powered up. Alright, so we're all powered up, and we got a very, very nice moving background on that one, and it times out so fast. A nice moving background on that, and I don't have any locks on it. I actually just went straight in and went past all of this pre-setup stuff and went directly into just getting the phone up and running, so I can kind of give you a look at the hardware. So if we look at similarities, yeah, it's I don't think I'm actually running. I know I'm not running Android Oreo on this one, so there's going to be a difference in the skin or the actual overlay or feel of the phones. This one has a different style, I guess, when you look at some of the things that I've already kind of gone through and looked through. There's all the features are still there, they're just kind of laid out a little bit differently. When I look at my Android Galaxy S8 here, let me just zoom in a little bit so you can see that a little bit better. Alright, make sure I'm all in focus still. Okay. Yeah, I got a lot more stuff on the screen, so you're going to see a lot of stuff here. I know a lot of guys who do cell phone reviews like to get the phones to show you how fast they are by doing stuff like this. As you can see, they kind of move at the same speed. The animations work about the same speed. Scrolling back and forth, I don't have anything on this phone to scroll back and forth on, so the best I can do is kind of do that. And then if I go down here and, you know, I'm going to actually opening up DJI Go 4 on that one, but if I can find something that's on both of them, so let's say if I go to the App Store, which I don't have internet connection, it's still going to open up on me. Okay, I don't have access to the App Store, so I'm going to hit our Play Store, so I'm going to hit those at the same time. And as you can see, they kind of, well, actually my Galaxy S8 kind of smoked that one. It actually opened up a lot faster than the Galaxy 9, and like I said, again, when it comes to processor and speed and all that stuff, you know, that stuff doesn't really make a difference unless you're kind of getting into hard gaming and stuff like that. I'm not even sure why that opened so fast because, again, there's probably like 12 applications running in the background on this. And it's still smoked up opening on this one. But also, like I said, there's no connection on this one to actually make it work. So, the reasons that I bought this, there's a couple reasons. Hardware-wise, like I said, I want to replace all of my cameras with my phone. So when I'm traveling, I don't have to carry 4 cameras. I might want to take a camera with a long lens on it. But when it comes to like doing the short close-up stuff, I want to be able to use my phone and get some very nice pictures. And that's often what I do. A lot of the pictures that you see, you know, when I went to Bali and stuff like that, those pictures came unedited directly out of the phone. I don't like to do color correction. I don't like to do photoshopping. I want the best image I can directly from the device and not have to worry about doing a lot of after processing or post processing. And that is one thing I loved about the Galaxy phones. When I had the Galaxy S, not the Galaxy, when I had the Galaxy Notes and I had, you know, all of my Galaxies, the pictures come out looking amazing. So if I get back into this, like I said, I don't have any hardware, I mean, I don't have any apps on it, but I do have the camera up and running. And some of the features on the camera that I was telling you about earlier are the I guess the new modes that it has, well, not modes, new options that it has. Let me see if I can get this to focus, make sure I'm in focus real quick. I'll hold this like this to the side. Okay, so the difference between my previous phone and this phone, if I can get this one started real quick on camera mode. If I wanted to get into camera settings, I'll leave this down on the table. If I want to get into camera settings, I will have to scroll to the right to get the camera settings and, well, not camera settings, the actual modes or options that you have in the camera. And then you scroll to the other side and that gives you all of your color profiles. On this one, it's a little bit different. I actually found an option that allows me to show the entire screen of the phone. Well, actually, the camera takes up the entire screen of the phone instead of having, if I can go back into this one, instead of having the black bar at the bottom like this one does here. and it might be even on this one. I probably just never found it, but as you can see, there's a lot more real estate used on this phone than this phone. And when it comes to those settings, I don't know if you can see that at the top because I don't have this in macro mode. We'll try to get the focus, see if it focuses on it. There you go. So all of the features that I told you I had to get to on the other phone by scrolling to the right, they're kind of across the top, like your iPhone when you go through all the different settings. This one's got a couple different settings. So all of these settings are in this phone. You can download them through the Samsung the Galaxy Store, I think it's called. That's the I guess alternative app store for Samsung phones. So food mode is also available by download through the App Store. Panorama is in both phones. Let's see what else. What's the other one? I'm trying to read this thing. Pro mode. So pro mode is where you can actually go in and kind of control all of your camera settings when it's not in automatic. And if I can get that to focus, let's see if I can get that to focus. See if it focuses for me. Okay, there you go. So those are all of your camera settings that I told you that I was really interested in when I'm trying to be a professional photographer. And I don't want to use, just like your point and shoot camera. I want to go in and adjust my white balance or my ISO, stuff like that. It has pro mode, and this one actually has the ability to control the aperture. So if I can find that from looking over my shoulder here. So here is, let's see, maybe if I block this out so you can kind of see the background there, see it in there, and if I can. I want to put something over the back of this so you can't see through that camera. Okay, let's block out that camera like that. Alright, so let's see if I can get those features in there. So right here, if I can get it, it's focused. Okay, so right here is the shutter speed. Let's see, there it is. So that's the shutter speed. So now I'm able to adjust the shutter, and over here it goes away so fast. This is the dual aperture that I was telling you about. This little shutter speed, this little thing right here, oh, can't see it, that right there, that adjusts the aperture, and it goes away so fast. So to show you what I'm talking about when I say aperture adjustment, let's see if I can get this to actually work. Okay, so hold it about right there. See if I can focus on it real, get it nice and focused for you. Okay, let's go a little bit further out and try it one more time. Okay, so I'm zoomed in, that's what it is. Okay, so let's zoom out. Sorry, I'm talking about using the camera and totally forgetting the reasons why this isn't working. Okay, so we want to go like that again. Let's see if I can get it to focus now. Okay, so now I'm going to see if I can change that aperture for you. So right now the aperture is closed, actually. It's closed. I don't know if you can see that. If I put this in macro mode, it probably will work better. Let's go right there. Okay, so let's go back into aperture, and I'm going to try to flip that back and forth. Okay, so right now it's a 2.4. It goes away so fast. Okay, so let's go back to the next one. There you go. See that aperture change? And while you can't see it, I can see the difference in the camera. When I put it in 1.5, the camera, the lens looks like it gets a little bit brighter. The screen looks like it gets a little bit brighter because it has a bigger opening, letting in more light from that light that I have to the right of me. And then when I put it in 2.4, it closes that aperture up, letting in less light. Everything else, like they got this gimmicky feature on this one, which they're actually, I think, copying from the iPhones, which is the emoji feature, as my daughter would say, that they're ripping off the iPhone emoji feature. Let's see if I forget how I did it. So I went in this, and then I went to emoji or AR emoji across the top. I've already created two, but I kind of show you how you create one. Let's see how you do it. So you can create your own emoji, and it's going to make me, see if I can do it like this. It's going to make me take off my glasses and smile without showing teeth and take the picture. I'm going to select male, and we'll hit next. And you're supposed to get this caricature of yourself. It's actually showing the same guy that always shows for me. I've got a beard. You just saw I got a full, not a full-blown beard, but I've got a pretty big beard, and it doesn't even pick it up. It uses maybe my eyes, my cheekbone structure, maybe my lips, but it doesn't really kind of show me. It does pick a brown skin guy, but it's not, I'm not this lean Abercrombie or H&M guy that they show here. You can adjust your skin tone on that, you know, to make yourself darker or lighter. But I don't think Samsung thought really hard on making this so that it kind of fits everybody's body profile. When I went and I checked hair, there aren't many African-American hairstyles in here. I was able to find, let's see if I can find one. I was able to find something that was close, which was like, you know, a short haircut. Looks like, actually, it looks like a balding guy. But if I go through some of the others, you know, you got the slick back haircuts that I don't think really fit me. I may be able to, oh, hold on, there's an afro. Where the hell did that afro come from? I don't have long hair, but yeah, there's an afro there. Okay, I guess that kind of matches. All right, there's some curlies there. And there's, looks like another afro. I guess you can change the color of your hair. Yeah, okay. But you can't change your body style. So if you're a bigger person like myself, I guess they are flattering you by giving you this lean, skinny avatar. So I can put on glasses. And these more fit my classic style right here. Let's see what those look like. Yeah, let's try those. You can actually put on, you know, like aviator, stuff like that. I'm gonna go with these because they are more my style. Alright, so I'm not having the greatest day here. Lost the battery on the other camera, and then I filled up a memory card, apparently, because I am, again, shooting in 4K. I keep forgetting to stop shooting in 4K. That's why I don't shoot in 4K, because it totally devours memory cards. But anyway, so I don't have to edit this down, because I know it's going to be like 30 gigs now. That is pretty much the hardware overview of the Samsung Galaxy S9. A beautiful phone with some very cool features. Another feature, oh, before I leave, another feature that I forgot about that I really like on the Galaxy S9 series over the Galaxy S series is the placement of the fingerprint reader. So this is the fingerprint reader on the Galaxy S8 series. If I can get that to focus. Let's try it again. So the Galaxy S8 series has the fingerprint reader to the right side of the camera, which always has me looking for the fingerprint reader and smudging up my camera. I got Siri over there listening to me and talking to me now. What they've done is they've moved the fingerprint reader to the lower portion of the camera, so now I don't have to reach over or smudge up my camera lens and miss that shot because it was all smudged up or dirty. All I have to do is slide my finger from the bottom and I am able to unlock my phone. I really do like the unlock feature on the Galaxy S series. It's very fast if you have the right case on it where you can actually get to that button or actually get to the fingerprint reader. With some of the cases that you have, you can't actually get to the fingerprint reader. Again, that's out of focus. Let's get that back in focus right there. So with some of the fingerprint readers, you can't actually get to them. They're like kind of embedded in the case about 1 millimeter or 2, and you got to press real hard to get to it. I never have any problems when I don't have a case on this thing getting to the fingerprint reader. I just touch it and it opens the phone right away. The new Galaxy S8 series, when it comes to security, also I guess kind of stole from the iPhone 10 the whole facial scan thing, but it also still has the iris reader. And I think it has a combination facial scan, iris reader, or just facial scan. So security features wise, I currently use the iris reader, and it was also super quick. Just look at this thing, even with glasses on, it picks up and opens this opens the phone up really fast. I'm not sure if I want to go into the whole facial recognition thing. From what I understand, that's not very secure. Somebody might have been able to break that with a picture of you. But I will kind of go and put my default security settings on it. One last thing about the hardware, and I'm hoping that it's not a big issue, but I think I'm going to probably try to fix it before I even get into it. I'm going to probably try to take some kind of screen protector filament and cover up the fingerprint reader, because I think it has a plastic cover on that fingerprint reader. And if you can see right there, if I can get that to focus without all the camera lighting on, let's see if I can get that focus on that. Let's go in a little bit like that. It is all scratched up. Let me do it with my other hand because I'm blocking it with the light. So you can see that. There you go. It is all scratched up, and you know, I'm a little anal, so that really annoys me. My camera lens isn't scratched up, but for some reason the fingerprint reader is scratched up, and I want to protect the fingerprint reader from scratches. This phone has rarely, if ever, seen or been touched by hands other than me doing like this review right now, and kind of touching it out of the case. I usually keep it in the case. I usually take it out of the box, put a screen protector on it, because the last thing I want to do is be that guy who rushed out to get the iPhone and went to show the media that he got the first one and dropped it and broke the screen on it. So that is it for the, I guess, hardware overview of the Galaxy S9. I will have to get back to you on the my actual impressions of the camera and whether or not it actually does what it says it's supposed to do in low lighting, outdoors, telephoto, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm one of those guys that wants the new phone because it's got a better camera on it, or the promise of a better camera on it, and the Galaxy S9 series actually promised me a better camera, if that makes sense. But again, as I said, does it mean that you need to go out and upgrade? Well, that's up to you. Do you want the latest, greatest phone? Do you want to get the new features? Do you want to play with the emojis, which I'm not sure are going to be moved over to the Galaxy S8 series, even though they do plan on updating that with Android Oreo. If not, and you just need a phone and, to make calls on, stick with your Galaxy S8, stick with your Galaxy S7, stick with your Note 4, 5, 6, whatever you may have, and then, wait till this drops a little bit and, get it for a cheaper cost. Coincidentally, I got this, when I talk about cheaper cost, I got this for $350 less because Samsung always offers a trade-in deal for your last year's phone. They give you up to $350 for a Galaxy S8 Plus or Standard. So I'm going to trade this one in. I will get back to you soon. I'm definitely going to see how this phone works with the Osmo Mobile 2. I think this one's got better image stabilization on it. If I'm not mistaken, I think this one has a digital image stabilization, where this one has optical image stabilization. And the difference in there would be when I use this camera, the image stabilization, because I got a really bouncy gait, doesn't really work that good unless I'm kind of standing still. When I'm walking or running or something like that, you can actually see that rolling shutter effect, and the stabilization is all over the place. So I'm hoping the stabilization is better in this one too. And any other features that I find out when using or comparing this or taking some photos with it, I will let you know. So stay tuned, stay locked, and I will definitely give you some updates on performance and how I feel it performs compared to the Galaxy S8. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.